All right, welcome to the SnydeReport. I am your host, Gary Snyder. You know how I know that because I now have gear. See, you too can get one of these t-shirts. We'll let you know how later. But my guest tonight is Nick Marshall. Nick is running for state rep. And Nick, since I am such a great and prepared host, you think I would know the district, but I don't. So why don't you fill us in on what district you're running in?
Yes, and thank you very much for having me tonight. Actually, it is for state senate for District 45.
Holy shit. I got that wrong too.
It's all good. We're human.
I even cussed during your interview too.
I've heard worse. I've heard worse.
Oh yeah, me too. I've said worse today. So you are running for state senate, and what district was that again?
It is
because I've got this all screwed up.
It is all good. It is District 45. It is all of Clark and a little bit of Floyd, mostly New Albany, in southern Indiana.
I was going to say that's way down there.
Yes. And across the river is Louisville, where I stayed for a little bit of stint before I moved over to Jeffersonville here.
Okay. All right. Our great sponsor, Robin Williams, knows Louisville well. So he'll probably be watching intently to this. So, well, Nick, before we get going and talk about why you want to be a state senator in a state that has not been kind to Democrats of late, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, a little bit about myself is I was actually a ward to the state since I was infant. So I bounced in and out of foster homes. My mom battled it with alcoholism. Dad only met a handful of times. But I had two wonderful sets of foster parents. And without them, I wouldn't be the person I am today. One of those sets was a farmer and a teacher, where I grew up on a 40-acre farm with them, got chased by cows. We broke the ice in the morning when it was wintertime and fed them grain before we went to school. And mowed about 15 to 20 acres of that farm. So it was hard work, and that's where I learned hard work and having compassion and the quietness of the country. And then another set was a military veteran, a Vietnam veteran, and a caregiver that took care of him, that took me in when I was 17. It got me graduated from high school and, of course, went on to a full academic scholarship to U of L, where I graduated and met my wife. And now we are married, be 9 years in September, 12 years
Congratulations.
Together. Thank you very much. And we have two wonderful children. Sebastian is my son, getting ready to turn 8. And Evelyn is just turned 3 in March. And then, of course, we have a fur baby, too, as well.
Ages.
Oh, yes. Mm-hmm.
So what's it like being chased by a cow? Because I have never been chased by a cow, although we have chickens here at our house. And we had some pretty mean roosters once. And we're sitting in our front room, and all of a sudden my granddaughter runs across the sidewalk, and we see her out of the front window. She's just waving her arms, screaming, running as fast as she can. And right behind her are these 3 roosters just chasing her. And I don't think I've laughed that hard in a long time.
Well, there's no laughing when a cow is chasing you.
I can't imagine.
Yes. So, of course, a heifer was protecting her calf, and she didn't like that we were inside her area with the calf. And then also we did have a bull, and we were cutting brush and cutting area for them to go graze in and get it ready for.
Yep.
And so literally because we tried to distract him with the feed, and he came across the hill and saw me and just snuffed and puffed and did his little foot thing. And I was like, uh-oh. And the only thing I could do is throw that bucket I had at him and then jump on the tractor as quick as I could. So I've been chased by a bull and a calf, so it's not fun at all. Lost your audio there.
Did you end up eating either the bull or the calf?
No.
Did they end up?
We
ate
not.
The chickens. We ate the roosters.
No, we did not. We did sell one, and that's right before I left the farm. I don't know if it was the one that chased me or not, but we did sell one to get meat, so we did store it later.
There you go. So what do you do for a living?
So what I do for a living is I work for a nonprofit. I'm an education advocate. And so what
Okay.
we do is we helped families as well as students ranging from 12 all the way up to 21 to make sure if they have any barriers in education, we help them get past it. And we go above 21 and we've helped individuals get their GEDs as well. Uh,
Excellent.
yes. And so been doing that for 2 years. It's hard work and an emotional work.
Well, I can imagine.
Yes. And so you might be a family that we come in and we talk to you, and all we do is ask the question is, how can we help in what's going on? And that will open up the floodgates. One kind of really cool story, we sat down with the family and we said, your child's not going to school. We got the referral, what's going on? And come to find out, all they needed was a license, and they couldn't drive their car because if they drove their car and got pulled over, that would make the situation worse. So
I've
what we did
been
is,
there.
yeah. So what we did is we helped them get their license. And since then, that child has not missed any school. So just a simple thing like that, just to get their license, help somebody get their school together. And then one really cool story is we got a referral and this individual got kicked out of school and was close to graduation. And so come to find out, the teachers were pulling for him. The the family that he was with the foster family was pulling for him, but their hands were tied and they had to kick him out. And so we end up talking to the school, and they said he can't return, but what we can do is put all his work, since he's so close to graduating, his work online. And if he gets
Okay.
all his work done by this date, he can walk and graduate. And so we set him up with tutors. We set him up with extra help. And he was able to walk this past May. And literally having that meeting with that assistant principal and him breaking down and crying during that meeting because he saw something in that child, and we did as well. I even cried myself after I got off that phone call for 15 to 20 minutes because that was a piece of me, because I was a foster child and someone needed help. So that's what we do. That's why I do my everyday job right now.
We being foster parents is something else. We were foster parents when we lived down in the Florence area in Kentucky, and then up here in Huntington when we moved. And boy, sometimes there's not enough money in the world for some of these foster parents.
There isn't, and like I said in the intro,
Literally, there isn't.
There isn't. But I thank the Lord for him every day. And the one in Louisville, she said, I don't know, because she took in 3 of us at the time when they got emergency certified. And so she took 3 of us in, and she would set during Christmas and make us feel like we were on. I still go back to both families. I just went back to the farm this summer, and then I just talked,
cool.
and I just talked to my foster mom not too long ago. And so
you asked to drive the tractor when you get down there?
I
just
didn't.
for old time's
The
sake?
tractor is out of commission, man. It's out of commission. They're a little bit older, and so they just kind of tend to the everyday needs. But no, I didn't get to drive the tractor, unfortunately. If you're in foster care, you can't do that. They don't want to put you in that much danger.
Let cows chase you, though.
Yeah,
bulls.
they let cows chase you. Yeah.
I'm sure most cow or bull chases aren't that innocent.
Yes, it's not.
So what made you decide that, hey, what the state needs right now is another Democrat Indiana state senator?
So it all started back in 2021. My little brother kicked my butt. And so in the past, I've always done some volunteer work and stuff like that and helped with nonprofits. And so one day we were at Olive Garden with my biological brother and sister, and we're sat down there talking. And that day I'd actually gone and done a speech at the governor's mansion in Kentucky. And he said, look at you, Nick. You're the one that made it. We can't do anything, but I need you to do something. I need you to do more than just sitting there and helping people like you're doing, but you can do so much more. And so with that, it kind of kicked my butt to say, okay, I can do more. What's the next thing I can do to do this? Because I want to help impact a lot of people's lives. And so I looked into how to run for office. And so literally right in the middle of COVID, start researching it and doing some training, and then went to an interview, and someone did an interview with the local party here in Clark County, and they said, you should run for state Senate. And I was like, oh, okay. Let's see what my wife says. My wife said, what's that? And so that kind of compelled things to move forward. I ran in 22. got to 38%, knocked on over 2,000 doors, I believe probably more. The other part was on a shoestring budget. And everybody looked at me as like, how'd you do that? I said, I just hit the pavement. I just hit the pavement, knocked on doors, met people where they were, and got close to that 40%. And so now, with that hands-on experience and a little bit more training, I
Name
know what to do
recognition
now.
too.
Yeah, I know
All
what
right.
to do now. So yeah,
We've
go ahead.
we've got to go to break here, but I've got to ask you this question because you did bring it up. What is your go-to meal at Olive Garden?
I'm a big Italian fan, so a good chicken parmesan lasagna. Yes.
That's good stuff. Now, do you do the salad, or do you get the soup, or do you just do both?
I'm just a straight lasagna spaghetti guy, just straight up that way, no salad.
Breadsticks and the Alfredo sauce?
What is that, like the triple medley they do, where you can get
I
like the Alfredo lasagna and the chicken parmesan? That's what I usually do because I want it all.
Yeah, yeah. All right, we're going to hit a quick break. When we come back, we'll be find out more about Nick Marshall. You're listening to the Snide Report. I am Gary Snyder. We'll be right back. All right, this is the part of the Snide Report where we thank our sponsors, and we have a growing list. So let's start with Robin Winston. Robin has been there when we first sent out our first email, 147 subscribers. We're now over 108,000. So thank you, Robin Winston, and helping us get the podcast going in the right direction. Next up is our good friend, former Congresswoman Jill Long Thompson. Her book, Across the Aisle, Why Bipartisanship Works for America. Get that anywhere you buy your books. Also, former two-term governor, two-term U.S. Senator Evan Bayh. Evan has been a sponsor of the newsletter, now jumps on board with the podcast. Congressman Andre Carson. Congressman Carson has been there from the start. We're glad to have him over here on the newsletter now. He needs your help to win re-election next year. So make sure you support Congressman Carson. Next up, State Representative Cherish Pryor. Cherish has been there from the start on the newsletter, joining us on the podcast now. So is State Senator Greg Taylor. I want to thank Senator Taylor for all of his support through the years. Next, we have a couple of new sponsors. First up is Indiana Citizen. You want to check out their new project, One Heartbeat Away. Do Christian nationalists have an agenda for Indiana? You know, all you have to do is look at the lieutenant governorship and you can see right away that they do. So thank you, Indiana Citizen. Next up is Jump Laundry. You can visit them at jumplaundry.com. They have home pickup. They do your dry cleaning, wash and fold with, I might add, no judgments, and next day service. So if you're in a crunch for time, you don't want to do your own laundry, get a hold of Jump Laundry at jumplaundry.com or at 317-740-5011, and they will take care of all of your laundry needs. Welcome back to the Snide Report. I am your host, Gary Snyder. Today we are speaking with Nick Marshall. He is running for state senate. See how I got that right? I've been paying attention.
You got it.
So as you embark on your second time running for state senate, what lessons did you learn last time that maybe you didn't know and will help you going into running a second time?
So one key thing is I didn't know about fundraising. And it was hard asking for money because I saw my community hurting. I would help out with the food pantries, the mobile food pantry in Utica, and other food pantries, and also help with the community shelter where they feed people. And so just seeing the lines go for far, I couldn't say, hey, give me your donation when you could spend it on a family or help somebody in the community. But I learned that investment, that money that they're giving is an investment in you and they believe in you. So I went through some extensive fundraising training. I know how to make that ask now. The other part is building a team.
Where'd you go to the training for fundraising? Because When I ran for Congress, people ask me what I did, and I'm like, I drive and ask people for money. That's about it.
Yes, it was an online platform that I got connected through.
Okay.
Oh my gosh. Um, you put me on the spot there, but it was an online platform. And in 2024, I put together an exploratory kind of thing
Yeah.
to run again. And I was like, I gotta figure out how to fundraise. And that's where I went. I went online and found this place, and they did training with me to reflect on how I treat money. And of course, before I was in nonprofit, I worked for a bank for 4.5 years. So
Okay.
it's been interesting how to deep dive how you treat money and how you spend money, and how do you make sure that you use it wisely too. And so that's something
That's
I had to dive into.
one of the toughest things I think candidates don't know how to do or are afraid to do it is to ask for money because it doesn't come natural.
Oh
So
yes.
once you master that, or at least get comfortable with it, running for office is a lot easier, I think. Anyway.
Yeah, it is. And that's what we've been doing since November.
Okay.
When 2024 happened, the election happened, I literally took a couple days to digest, but I said, no, I can't sit on my laurels. I can't cry about this. I see what happened. So what can we do to help? So I made a few phone calls saying, how can I prepare for this? And I also came off of the Emerging Leaders Project in Indianapolis in the middle of that training too. And
Okay.
so I was
That's a
like,
good program.
yes. And I just graduated here back in March. So been going through a lot of extensive training and connecting with people and making those hard asks and getting things ready. But also it is a budget year in 2025. So no candidates nor can elected officials raise any money until after the budget session is over. And as soon
Right.
as April 29th, I waited 24 hours, make sure there wasn't a special session. And I got the green light from our party chair and said, go for it, and started raising money and making those phone calls. And so this has been cultivating for quite a while. So we just can't sit on the sidelines and sit there and just say, this is something going bad. How do we got to get in and start saying, how can we change things? How can we make things better? Even giving that little spark of hope. And I think that's what I did in 22. I took my campaign a different way and gave people a little bit of hope and just spreaded a good message out there that this is what we got to do. But now I use that experience. Now we can move that needle even further.
So as you travel around your Senate district that you're running for, and you're knocking on doors, you're shaking hands, and I'd say kissing babies, but that's kind of a no-go these days with COVID and
True.
everything. What are people telling you? What's important to them right now?
I think one of the big issues that is going on right now in Jeffersonville is not only this led from the corruption, but that was not taken care of was the Utica fire protection. And so the city of Jeffersonville was trying to work with Utica because our EMS runs were about, maybe with all the corruption that happened, it ended up being 30 to 40 minutes, and now it's kind of going to 20 to 30 minutes. But Jeffersonville was trying to reduce that time throughout the county as well as with those two cities. And so with SB1 that came down with a little bit of, with the budgets and moving things around, they kind of had to pull that and rescind that fire territory back. And so now the city of Utica has formed a volunteer fire department to subsidize that situation going on. So I think people are really concerned and worried about that accountability of the corruption that led to a lot of things not being taken care of, and then at the taxpayers now back. And so the other part is now how do we fix those issues that needed to be fixed a long time ago? And also we are seeing once again the cost of living.
It's
I'm
horrible.
seeing food pantries, the mobile food pantries getting emptied out, even just locally here in Jeffersonville. There's been requests to help fill up the food pantry again, and also in New Albany. So it kind of makes you think, it's like, what has happened to the everyday Hoosier to survive? And I
You
remember,
can't go to the store and
yeah,
not spend $50. I
yeah,
mean, seriously.
yes.
And most times I can afford groceries, but it gets more painful every time I go.
And I've got two kids, and I'm a snacker too, so I'm not gonna lie. I got 2 kids and I snack. And so the grocery bill, you look at the bill and like, but we didn't get much. But that much that we got, and we can, and it's a blessing that we have that, but some people can't do that. And they have to pick and choose. And just to see them pick and choose, not only from 2020 to 2022, to pick and choose what they had to get and get help for, but now they're doing it in 25. They were doing it in 24 and 25 now.
You know, when you take into when you take the federal government and what the state has done, Hoosiers are losing Medicaid. Either, you know, they're going to be forced to move out of nursing homes, or they're going to be forced to lose their health care. They're going to be forced to lose their in-home care. How big of an issue is that with the district you're running in? Because I know people I talk to all across the state, that seems to be a priority.
It is. And we have 2 hospitals here, Clark Memorial and then Floyd Baptist over in, of course, Floyd
Probably
County.
one of them's going to shut down, I'm going to guess.
I think at this time, I don't think we're on that list. I don't.
Okay.
Okay. And I'm going to double check that. But of course, there are conversations about, every business has a conversation about their bottom line. And so not only are the everyday Hoosiers who are on that Medicaid or worried about their health insurance, but those businesses as well have to start talking about, okay, if that does not come in from the federal government, if the governor doesn't play ball, then what do we need to do? Is that a decision about, we have to start talking about staffing? And then you're starting to affect people's jobs if they have to be let go. And so then once again, what's going to happen? The same thing that we're just got done talking about. How do I pay for groceries? How do I pay for my house? How do I pay for these student loans or these things too? It's a ripple effect. So not only does, we do talk about, our demographic is a little bit about 55 and up, but you have to start talking about that too. These are people that have jobs. And if they get let go, what's going to happen with them? Hopefully they get another job. But we always want to make sure there's a quality of opportunity here in Indiana and Southern Indiana. But we also want to make sure that there's a quality of life here too that you could sustain. And that's getting hard. And we have to have that conversation of, how do we make Indiana a place for opportunity and a quality of life that they can have and sustain.
Affordable, yeah. I mean, you know, people sit around the kitchen table and try to decide, do I pay my rent on time, or do I get food, or maybe I need to get this medicine? And it's rough. And Republicans right now, and I shouldn't even call them Republicans, Indiana MAGA party, they don't care, because power is what it's all about. And it's sad. Before we let you run here, is there anything that you wanted to discuss with me and our audience that maybe I did not ask you?
So what we really want to talk about is, you know, is a situation, you know, they passed a lot of stuff that's not going to really affect them until
Right.
after the midterm and also in 27. But people are feeling it right now. And so with that, I want to make sure that we, as Democrats, celebrate some of our wins. We have the Jeffersonville City Council here that just flipped Democratic in 23, Clarksville and New Albany City Council there. Not unmentioned, we have Mayor Treva Hodges, as well as Wendy Dancaster fighting at the Statehouse as well, and Mayor Gahan over in New Albany. So I think a lot of people don't understand that Democrats are out there fighting for them, even if it's just a simple person like me helping someone getting their education or just putting their name on the ballot. So I just want to celebrate the wins that we have. It is bad, but we can still go out there and fight. And what I really want to express to them, if they really want to donate to this campaign and we can truly flip this district and start to take away that supermajority, you can go to HoosiersForNickMarshall.com. It'll tell you a little bit about my bio, and then you click that donate button, and that will get us to the Statehouse and be able to fight for everyday Hoosiers to get those prices down, to make it that quality of life good for you and the quality opportunity while we're here too as well. So I just really want to just hone that in, that we do have wins and we have individuals and Democrats fighting out there for you, but you're not alone, and we're always going to be here for you, no matter what.
Great close. Impressive.
Thank you. I was a
You
communication major, so I'm good. Public speaking is my thing.
You can also, I know most people that watch this get the newsletter, so your banner is floating around there. Just click on that, take you right to Nick's page. Nick, one more time, a website, all that good stuff.
Yes, HoosiersForNickMarshall.com, and that'll get you to me to link in bio. Also, it's Nick Marshall for State Senate on Facebook, and then Nick for Indiana on X, formerly known as Twitter. But yeah, you can follow me all over those social media platforms, as well as, like I said, don't forget to donate, because every bit helps. That $5 can get us a 1% to send out a mailer, to send out a postcard, lick that stamp, to send out that information. So every single bit helps. And there's other candidates out there that need your help too. So we can flip these seats and make sure that we're fighting for you.
Nick Marshall, thank you.
You're certainly welcome.
I'm Gary Snyder. He is not. He is Nick Marshall. This is the Snide Report, and we are out.